welcome to the Unofficial Controller Podcast, your weekly gaming podcast. Oh, I'm excited. You're excited. Everyone gathered around us, Bobby, is excited. Episode 100. Not only that, it's almost like we planned it. It's also the 2-year anniversary of the show. With me, George, and as always joined by Bobby, gaming legend to my gaining the pounds. How's it going?
Good.
You've been away. How was your anniversary trip?
It was good. Just, chilled. It was nice. Ate some good food. Relaxed. It was, I enjoyed it.
Brilliant. Well,
13 years, bro.
Would you like a prawn vol au vent?
What?
A prawn vol au vent.
I don't know what that is.
It's this pastry case with these little prawns and some Marie sauce on it. You're having it. Have it now.
Yeah, okay. Give it to me. I'll take it.
Have it now. What's it taste like?
It tastes like fish.
Yeah, that's to be expected. It's a prawn vol au vent.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
I like it.
Well, now, while you were away last week, we had Dave Perry on. Now, Dave was wild.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, but also we managed to get Tom out on tag because you couldn't be with us because you were still doing your anniversary celebration.
And listen, Nancy she filled in great.
Listen, we never knew that Nancy could come from behind the glass screen, moving all the levers and dials, recording the show and doing whatever she does, to sit here.
It's the quiet ones you got to watch out for.
And outperform both of us. Yeah,
she sure did.
Absolutely. Well,
first of all, I've heard her speak, very few times. She's very quiet.
Yeah.
When she grabbed the mic, bro, she took command of that mic. She was the show.
Well, she wants to be the future. She wants the future in broadcasting. And,
it's a big table. Just sitting on the mic. There you go, Nancy.
Oh, I think she has aspirations above this show.
She could sit right there. And then she can get her little experience. And then listen, here comes the Nancy show. And we're out of here. We'll be behind the glass for her.
Her and James, the work experience boy.
Well, I don't know too much about him.
Oh, don't.
I mean, listen.
He's put a real shift in.
He really does. He's not Nancy.
You're probably right. Listen, before we get lost in who our favourite intern is.
Nancy.
Okay, fine, it's Nancy. But before we get lost in who our favourite intern is, let's give new fans and old a rundown of how things are going out. So coming up, we've got some news. In there, as always, we've got some Nintendo, Xbox, and Sony news. Then the feature is going to be a teary-eyed look back at 100 shows. We asked you for your favourite moments. You got in touch, and we shall regale you with those. Then, because it's only right and proper, 100th show, here he comes for the 100th time. I was going to say I haven't missed a show, but there's someone else who hasn't missed a show. It's Ray. He'll be screaming up for Main, bringing us the new releases in his boot. Then the show really can only end when I ask you what you're hoping to play. But the show cannot begin. And listening back the other day, I realised I never did an Odders bit for the Dave Perry intro.
Dave Perry was its own show.
He was his own show.
It was amazing.
Well, guess what? Grip down tight on your Battenberg. Grab tight of your party hat. Blow hard on that, whatever it's called. What are those things called? Those blowers that roll.
Confetti? No, I don't know. The roller blowy thingies.
Roller blowy. Grip tight on your roller blowy. Others, as I asked Bobby, what have you been playing?
Listen, it's been 2 weeks, but still playing Sniper 4, Marlon, my boy. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We are on, now we're doing Authentic. We're on level 4. Don't get me wrong, it's still harder than 3. But at least if you die, there's a checkpoint.
Oh, relief.
You see, when you died in Sniper 3, that's back to the beginning of the game. Now when you die, it's like, oh, you reached the checkpoint? Beautiful. So we're doing that. Bullet realism is even more realistic. So there was one mission where we were pinned down for like 20 minutes. Couldn't get across because the sniper, he was a real sniper. We were not. And he kept killing us instantly. And then I had the idea to go all the way around the map. I'm like, we'll do it. That took even longer, but you know what? We killed that sniper with tag team precision. I got my binoculars out. I said, bro, he's 153 meters away. Now you take your scope and you put it to 200 meters and you do one shot and I will direct you where to go. And in my mind, I felt that I was there, but I also felt that Boba Loba's hand was on my shoulder.
The heavenly presence.
And I said, down 2 notches and left. And when he killed, you know what I'm so upset about? I was so excited when he killed the sniper with the one shot that I told him where to go. I wish I recorded that footage because you had to hear our voices. I thought we won World War III at that moment. Okay? Greatest thing we did so far together as a team, for sure. So we're doing that, beat level 3, and then, next level 4. We'll probably do it later today, maybe. I played Angry Video Game Nerd Deluxe. I loved it. If you're not a fan of the AVGN, I mean, it's still a good game either way. But there's so many Easter eggs, you might get lost into. Every episode is a joke about another episode. I mean, every level is a joke. So I got the platinum for that. And then my little 10-year-old cousin wanted to play Road Company.
Dude, Dave the taxi driver's at the party.
Well, he's in every party, if you notice. He's always wearing that pink shirt.
I never realised.
He has 2 shirts, black and pink.
Dave? All right.
Yeah, once the pink shirt's on, he knows what's going on.
Because we're not getting a lift anywhere today, are we?
Oh, no, we're not. We got to walk. What else? What was I saying?
No, just the sight of Dave the taxi driver threw me completely.
It really threw me off. Look at those shorts, too.
I don't think when you get to a certain age, you should be allowed to wear shorts of that shortness.
Yeah, because one wrong move, bro.
Boom.
There they are.
Exactly.
Road Company.
Yes.
My little cousin said, let's play. Okay, I'll play. I hate this game. I'll play it for you. So I had to re-download it.
No.
I re-downloaded it, and all of a sudden, I'm auto-popping trophies because it's on PS5. So I got another platinum without even knowing. You can auto-pop. I was like, ooh, look at this, sneaky. So now I'm in a dilemma. I wanted Demon Souls to be like Platinum 225 because it'd be like, an historic mark or milestone, whatever they call it on PSN. Now it's not going to be that. So I'm pushing. So my idea is, meanwhile, I will play Sniper Elite 4 to level 7. Stop playing. Finish We Were Here Together for 224, and then finish Sniper 5. Sniper 4 as 225. It's like, bro, we did this together, bro. That was it, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
I've got to admit, I've not been doing a lot of gaming. I did get sent by formerly Eslam Midner, now known as Tingle Turner, call him what you like. It doesn't really matter anymore. He changed his name because you couldn't pronounce his name, and then it transpires I can't pronounce his new name. So we are both scum, to be fair. He sent me a PSP, which was very nice of him. So thank you again for that, sir. It's a very humbling experience. But the one thing I've got to say about that whole experience is it came with this grip, like a weight, it protects the PSP, but it also has these sort of handles on it. And it's got these little flick out handles, and it's got this little pull out lever on the back so you can stand it up. Like a Switch,
fancy.
Years ahead of its time, yeah. And the way these little handles pop out, so normally it's rounded like the PSP, and then you press these little buttons on the back, and these 2 little sort of clamshells pop out that you can actually hold, so it's more like a controller. That grip is game changing. It's literally transformed my PSP experience. But we'll rest it there because you know what I'm like. 20 minutes from now, people will still be fast forwarding to get to the news. And I'll tell you another thing about Little Big Planet on the PS4. So we're like, oh, God, George. It's 100th episode. Let's keep it light. What do you reckon? Is it time for the news?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, we scoured the very darkest regions of the internet to bring you the latest stories. First up, is it you?
Sure. Days Gone. This is sad.
Very sad.
I'll try to read it a little cheerful, but we'll see. Days Gone 2 was not given the green light when pitched to Sony, according to a Bloomberg report. Despite the original game being successful and ultimately profitable, the Japanese giant pointed to a lukewarm critical reception and lengthy development cycle as a reason to skip on the sequel, which ultimately led to the departure of key creative leads, including longtime writer John Garvin. The studio is currently working on a new game, although it's had to fight for the opportunity, it seems. According to the article by respected journalist Jason Shriver, one team was assigned to help Naughty Dog with a multiplayer game, which presumably is the upcoming The Last of Us faction spinoff we know is in development. Another team apparently was set to work on a new Uncharted game, surprise, which is apparently also in development at Naughty Dog, worried that they may eventually be absorbed into the Juggernaut studio. Sony Bend fought to work for its own project and has since been taken off the Uncharted game as recently as last month and given the opportunity to make something new. Exactly what that entails remains unclear. It's worth noting this is just a report, and while it perfectly aligns that everything we've heard over the past 18 months, it's just one side of the story. Nevertheless, we have the utmost faith in Shriver's reporting, and it's disappointing to learn that Days Gone wasn't successful enough to earn a sequel, as you reckon the team went onto something. If the report is accurate, though, it's no surprise that Japan studio was shuttered. When big sellers like Days Gone can't get a sequel, then what hope do the likes of Siren Blood Curse have? We're interested to see what Sony Bend does next, but we're a little bummed. We've seen the last of Deacon St. John. There was so much room for improvement on that franchise. Which I agree.
And let's cast some more light across this news. So Days Gone, which I thought was, for me, the standout games on the PS4 were Days Gone, Death Stranding, and obviously as a multi-plat Red Dead Redemption. I thought they were the games that I came away thinking, yeah. Really.
If I had to pick a sequel for Days Gone or Horizon Zero Dawn, it would have been Days Gone.
Yeah, snap. That game takes a little while to get going, and I know obviously when we got it, it was early days, so there were bugs and all sorts of stuff going in there, which caused your sort of gaming experience to be a little bit marred. But if you played it now, and I know a lot of people have downloaded it as a PS5 launch game because they got it in that sort of bundle. They might not have had it. They might have had an Xbox before, and they came over to PS5, and that bundle, that little location's perfect place to get a load of games. And it had very early on a PS5 60 FPS patch, and it looks phenomenal. Yeah. And there's a lot of noise about the game. It's being ported to PC. Why would you not continue with that? I'm glad that they're now been given a new IP. I'm disappointed that they finished Days Gone and Sony were like, if you've got a minute, just come over to Naughty Dog and help us with this little multiplayer thing. What you're doing doesn't matter, really. And then, is anyone else back at Oregon not doing anything? Well, there's a couple of people just working on some... Yeah, forget all that. Send them over here because we need you to work on the new Uncharted game that nobody wants.
But, why?
I don't know.
It ended fine. Leave it alone.
They've got a movie out, haven't they?
Well, you know what you do? You can put a special price on the Uncharted games.
I think that would be the most sensible. They got released on PS4 and look great, you know. And obviously that ties in with the news that they're remaking Last of Us 1 as well. Like, why?
Yeah, why?
I still play it on PS3 and think it looks incredible.
Well, like I said before, you had the HBO show, which they're banking on to be a success. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm not. We'll see. Let's see. Sony Ben's new game might be incredible.
I hope.
we don't know.
Listen, we'll find out.
Next bit of news. This is what we always wanted. Would you like to see Nintendo revive some of its old and perhaps lesser known IPs for the Switch generation? Well, if Shuntaro Furukawa latest comments are anything to go by, it's probably best not to try to get your hopes up too much. During an interview with Nikkei earlier this week, the Nintendo president explained how much of the company's current focus was on new ideas and what's next, aka the future. Although Nintendo has a lot of older franchises it could fall back on, it sounds like the only really interested in keeping evergreen titles and staple series such as Mario and Zelda around. Here's exactly what Furukawa had to say, courtesy of translation by Nintendo Everything. We're constantly looking out for new ideas, he says, and researching what we can utilize next in future. We want to not only work on our staple series like Mario and Zelda, but also work on new games and new game series. Nintendo was able to take Zelda and Mario to new heights this generation with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey. Alongside these more familiar series, we've also seen a number of new games such as ARMS and Ring Fit Adventures. How would you feel about seeing more games and new series from Nintendo moving forward? Would you like another success story such as Splatoon? Or would you rather a blast from the past? Share your thoughts on the Discord. What do you think about that, Bobby? New IPs, please, Nintendo?
Well, I kind of said they're working on new ideas, but just keep releasing Wii U games. Yeah, new games are great. It'd be nice to have some new games, but also they should definitely keep going with their mains.
I just sometimes think with Nintendo, there's an awful lot of imagination and talent and creativity, and
they're scared to pull the trigger.
I don't know what it is. There must be some really frustrated artists and creative people at Nintendo that are just drawing Mario again. It would be nice if they trusted enough.
I would hate Mario if I worked for Nintendo.
I would as well. Like him again,
Mm-hmm.
Look at how Dungaree's here. We don't want you.
Denim.
Don't do that. That might bring out Stingray.
Well, he's wearing his Canadian suit today.
Is he here?
And for those listeners, he was in the back, but then also he was in the front.
Oh, he's probably gone. Yeah. Do you know who else I saw? Before we went on air, I went to use the bathroom. There's a queue real long for the bathroom. Mm-hmm. We're at a party and people are drinking Alka Pops. And Red Diesel was in there.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Sneaky guy, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what he was doing in there, but it smelled like he was burning Magic Tree air fresheners.
Oh, he definitely took a load.
Did he?
Yeah. If you're lighting candles like that or you're lighting matches, you're trying to bask the smell.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I was a bit concerned. Anyway, where I was going with that is they're so creative and they're so clever, and they brought us Mario, they brought us Zelda, they brought us numerous other IPs through the years. I would love for someone just to say, yeah, go off and do something new as well, and we'll get right behind it. Not just a throwaway game like ARMS, not just a throwaway game like Splatoon. And by throwaway, I mean, multiplayer really with a little bit of bobs tacked on. I want to see a fully fleshed out story. I want Nintendo to give it their full beans.
Yeah, they should go for it. And you know what? If it fails, it fails.
Well, they see themselves as like the Disney of the games industry.
Yeah, but even Disney stopped using Mickey Mouse after a while.
Yeah, exactly.
He's there, but there's no Mickey Mouse game, There's no Mickey Mouse movies either. Right. So, there you go.
Would you one of those? But Nintendo need to just take a break. This last bit of news, Bobby, what we got?
Why don't you understand we need these now? There's been a lot of hype around the upcoming Xbox exclusives, Fable, Perfect Dark, and Everwild, amongst others, since they were announced, but sadly it looks like we've got a long wait until they arrive. In fact, industry reporter and head of gamesindustry.biz, Chris Dring, stated on the latest VGC Off the Record podcast that based on conversations he's had with Xbox Game Studios employees, it could be many years before it's released. He says, I've had a few conversations with the friends at Xbox Game Studios. Those games that they announced, Everwild, Perfect Dark, Fable, are so far away, as in there might even be a new Xbox, a mid-tier upgrade, by the time those games come out. They are so far away, and no wonder Xbox is looking at investing and signing certain products at the minute, because they don't have a lineup of big exclusives at all. Certainly, we've heard much about any of these 3 games in recent months, aside from the recruitment drive news and small tidbits of information. So we'll have to wait if E3 brings us any news development this summer.
I didn't expect that when I read that. I thought that we might be a little bit closer. A mid-gen upgrade puts them sort of 2 or 3 years away, which is it's crazy. But there you go.
Listen, Xbox, they got the Game Pass. That's what they're focused on right now. They're trying to get as many people to sign up to Game Pass to bring as many of their games to everybody in any format. And that's just their focus right now. They're pushing that hardcore.
They are, yeah.
And there's enough games on there that someone can find something they're interested in. And that's all they're trying to get right now. They're trying to just use the Xbox name and all the games to get up on that Game Pass. And then, Sony's doing the opposite. Oh, well, we don't want to make this game because it didn't do good.
Yeah.
They're going 2 different directions right now.
I don't know whether it's COVID forced or these business decisions are just where they're at, but
I think it has to do 100% with COVID. Like, why is Nintendo was rehashing remakes the whole year of games that were on the Wii U or the Wii. And then Xbox is pushing Game Pass because it's hard. I'm sure it's hard to develop a game in general. But now imagine developing a game at home. I mean, it's insane. So whatever Sony had exclusive-wise, they just released during the COVID. Was it really a great new game that was made during COVID? We got a lot of remasters, I'll tell you that.
Dude. El Buccio's here. He just walked in the door behind you. El Buccio's here.
Oh, I don't know what it looks like. I'm nervous.
Don't turn around.
I never met him.
Don't look him in the eye.
I'm trying not to. Is he small?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I look straight up, I won't see him?
He's the only guy, if you look straight up, he's the only guy in the room wearing snakeskin stiletto boots.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
All right, so he's the kind of guy you gotta look at his nose.
No, don't look at his nose.
Don't give eye contact either?
No.
Damn.
No. Look to just about 2 degrees off the center of his chin.
With a little mole?
No, don't mention them all.
Sorry.
Just focus in on that.
Okay.
I normally focus in on a couple of bits of stubble.
Is that a velour jacket?
I think it is.
Wow. That looks nice.
Yeah. And that ponytail. Some would argue that a man thinning as badly as El Buccio
Well, he has the whole...
shouldn't grow his hair that long and put it in a ponytail.
He's got this Seagal look, kind of like, listen, I'm losing it in the front, but I'm going to grow that out in the back.
Should laugh, because he can kill both of us with a look.
100%. I wonder if his security guards are here.
Oh, they'll be here. They probably came in earlier. They're probably who I thought was Red Diesel's mates.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. I thought Red Diesel had got in with some bigger boys because, they came in looking like they're carrying heat. I don't like to make a big scene because obviously I'm a guest here in America and I don't know whether people bring guns to parties or not. So I just said nothing.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, we do.
Why not?
Can I go get mine out of the bedroom? That one that you hooked me up with early days?
Yeah, get it.
Okay, get it. Before I do, okay, why don't you tell everyone how they get the chance to interact with the show?
They can reach us at Twitter or Instagram at unofficialcontrollerpodcast.com. They can email us at questions@unofficialcontrollerpodcast.com. And then they can join the Discord, which is in the link tree in the description of the Instagram. And join it and sign up. There's a new person. I've been really busy, so I've been kind of not on it. But when I'm on it, when I say something, it's kind of like, let's wait 6 hours to respond.
They like to just savor your comments, though.
So I'm kind of like, oh, okay, I had a question. I'll find out tomorrow.
Anyway, here's my gun.
Mm-hmm.
Do you wave them around like this at American Pies, or am I going to freak people out?
No, you just put it in your back pocket. Put it in the back. Yeah, that's it. Leave it there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Then when someone comes up to you, you call it the business. And
do I just pull it out and stick it in their face? What do I do with this?
Yeah, right on the chin. Like, listen, we don't do that here. That's what you tell them. Okay. We don't do that here.
We don't do that here.
That's it.
We don't do that here.
There you go.
We don't do that here.
But not so Midwest.
We don't do that.
Ooh, that's good. That got me nervous.
Well, it is loaded. I'm dancing it off your chin.
Yeah. YOLO.
We don't do that.
We don't do that here.
We don't do that here.
Yeah.
They grind out the here.
You have to.
We don't do that here.
No, that's too Long Island. Yeah.
Yeah, it is as well.
Yeah. You can't listen when you're from Long Island, and no disrespect to people from Long Island. They don't really sound tough because they say everything so long that by the time they finish the sentence, you're like, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm sorry.
We don't do that here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling brave enough to take this on a trip to the shops.
Do it.
I don't know. What's mate's name in the bodega again?
Lewis?
That's him. Lewis. What's Lewis's dad called?
Lewis?
Yeah, Lewis and Lewis Jr.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do that here. I don't know if it's wise to do that to him in the shop.
No, because they got machetes over there, bro.
Yeah.
We
won't do that. Listen, everyone's gathered around. Everyone's having a good time. This party is off the chain. We've seen Red Diesel. We've seen a whole collection of our New York friends, and it's great. It's not. Although you move to a city where there's more people, sometimes there's less community spirit. But we found ourselves a nice little collection of friends here now. James, the work experience boy, seems to be on his third glass of punch. I don't know if that's that wise, James, but whatever you feel you need. Anyway, the reason for all this frivolity and carry on, Bobby, is it's our second birthday and it's our 100th show. Did you ever think a show of this mediocre quality could ever get to 100 shows?
Yeah, I knew it.
You knew.
I did something special, bro. I think it was in the summertime before the Halloween special.
Yeah.
I don't know how I found you guys, but I'm like, oh, what's this? So I read the Instagram, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's a good question. I mean, write that down. Then I'm like, oh, you can hear your answer. Oh, I can hear my question on air? Sure, let me check that out. My question wasn't on air, but you know what? Didn't matter. Because it was special. But I like this podcast is good. Another question? Here you go. Oh my God, they said it. And all of a sudden, I'm in it to win it, bro.
Your first question was never on air.
I was in it to win it since then. It was interesting, bro. It sounded like you guys had real degrees with your accents. I'm like, these are the smart people, bro. This is a podcast. They know what they're doing. And they're playing games. Not just talking about them.
Now
you respect to that.
Now you know us. Obviously, the former co-hosts incarcerated at Rikers Island.
Listen, he just got busted. He was still a smart guy. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what he did. He got lazy.
He got too comfortable.
Dave Perry loved the fact that Tom was an ex-con or a con.
It was great. Absolutely beautiful.
We actually have. Oh my God! I actually have a statement from Tom.
Okay, let's go. Let's read it.
Hang on, before we do that. As always, we reached out to you guys on Instagram to help us celebrate this special occasion and on Twitter. And we've interwoven your thoughts about the topic below. If budget can stretch and if we can get a couple of prawn vol au vents and a couple of cans of ale in El Buccio, Bobby, he might sign off on a clip show. What do you reckon?
What's a clip show?
Where we really don't do that much in the feature bar, intro and outro bits, and then we just nail a load of people's favourite bits in from the last 100 episodes into the feature.
Oh. Yeah, I'm down.
So if you listen to this and various clips start playing, you know we're able to convince El Buccio. If you're listening to this and no clips play, then our negotiation skills with El Buccio have been proven to be lackluster yet again.
I see. Okay. Makes sense.
But anyway, he's messaged in, hasn't he? This one looks like it's scrawled in Big Rick's blood.
Ooh, yeah. Oh.
So he must have been using Big Rick like an inkwell.
Do we do the, the tradition?
No, because Tom's messaged him before.
Okay.
Or has he?
I'm not sure.
In the tradition of Tom, he's took everything from this show, including my soul. You might as well take a new listener clap. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
He's a new listener. Dear George and Bobby, he always writes well. He's got some Basil and...
Oh, he writes great.
Yeah, some really nice Basil and Bond paper. And obviously he's used a nice pen, but he's just using Big Rick's blood. Dear George and Bobby, congratulations on the 100th show. After more retirements and Ric Flair, I can look back and muse on my time on the Unofficial Controller podcast. Where to start? I have great memories of the first meeting to plan out what sort of show we were going to put together, and the excitement of trying something creative but without the aid of visuals was going to be a tough one. Who knew it would get this far and create a great community of listeners? A big thank you to all the original listeners, the Inglorious, who went above and beyond with their efforts promoting the show through many different mediums in the early days. Yes, we must not forget that. For once, Tom showing some signs of emotional intelligence. Looking back at the actual show, I look back with great fondness and laughter at some of the episodes we produced, from Neil Buchanan arriving to finally decide our video games art, Stingray lifting debris from injured Farmerton residents in the Christmas marketplace disaster, or maybe travelling back to the launch of a new console with our retrospective features. The show will always have a special place in my heart and something to look back on with much happiness. For new listeners, here are some of my favourite episodes if you want to listen back to some older material. Number 1, Can Video Games Be Art? 2, The Murder of the Wii U, suspect number 1, the Switch. Number 3, The Christmas Special live from Farmerton Market Square. Number 4, A Christmas Carol, where all 3 of us got together and did our finest work. Number 5, The Game of the Decade, The Aftermath. Number 6, The History of the PlayStation 2. Number 7, History of Online Gaming, Past, Present and Future. Number 8, The Independent Game Store Gotham Games Interview. Oh, and maybe if you want something with a little attitude, The Backlog of Shame. Do not. Well, obviously that's an open invitation. Go back and listen to that one. I will close with saying that George has always had a great way of projecting his passion and visions for his ideas, and I think that's truly what made the show successful from the start. He's the Del Boy to my Rodley. With my GCE in art and his yuppie image, we put out some great shows, and I'm sure many more in the future. Your friend in time, Tom S. Ironmonger Esquire. I would say I'm Rodney and he's Del Boy, but either which way. That's probably the most he's ever written for the Unofficial Controller podcast.
Good.
I'm surprised Rick's not bled out. That's an awful lot of blood.
Oh, he's a big boy, so.
What's the first comment out the post bag for people's memories?
It's Pseudomax Media.
Oh, El Buccio. What's he got to say?
We knew when we signed you, you guys had what it took. Well, Bobby and Tom anyway. you know, uh,
Yeah.
you know,
Nice of him.
yeah, it was good.
Thank you, El Buccio. Let's just take a moment to remember, without El Buccio, we'd be nowhere. We'd be nowhere.
No, absolutely not. Also, in tradition of the show, I'm going to go next again.
Okay.
The barber who games, who's not a barber. He writes, I can't believe it's already been 2 years. Congrats on the 100th episode, guys.
Wait.
With a smile. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll do that again. I can't believe it's been already 2 years. Looking suspicious eyes emoji. Congrats on the 100th episode, guys, with a squinty smiled emoji.
Nice. Okay. Thank you, the barber who games. Who's not a barber?
Exactly.
The more you know, the more dangerous it is. Oh, I see what you've done here.
100%.
That means I've got 2 on the trot.
Yeah.
It's the embodiment of the Irish beef industry. It's C. Pliskin. Hot damn! 100 years old. Oops. 100 episodes already. Well, I guess since this is me talking about my favourite memory, would probably be my first time I heard my lovely thoughts on air. Gaming soundtracks, episode 39, I believe. Fun bit of trivia, actually. If I recall, the podcast actually found me first, thanks to them following my account on Instagram, way back when I was more active on the platform. I remember seeing their request to follow me and thinking, seems they seem good, and I followed them back. When I did finally add my voice to the show, I was still pretty high off playing Death Stranding and loving the licensed soundtrack for the game featuring Low Roar, Silent Poets, amongst others, so I instantly found myself putting that down and rambling about it for a straight minute, which, if you can't tell, is something I have a very bad habit for on this show. Smiling with a little bit of nervous perspiration emoji. Either way, I was very surprised by George's personal invite to have my comment be featured, and I think part of him regrets ever thinking so. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, super.
Do you?
No, never.
I love this kid.
Last week's comment was great. You know, I'm something of a video game journalist myself. You know, seeing how I'll likely be responsible for his voice losing his voice a few years from now. In all honesty, though, I do really enjoy hearing what George and Bobby have to say on my thoughts, even when they don't agree with me. And I always skip ahead to hear them read my comments. Like he gets I am. And I think it's fair to say, probably next to reuniting with my dear mermaid at Deep Sea Doodles and getting my first vaccine injection last week, that making someone smile regularly with my silly thoughts one of the best things that happened since last year. Oh, and listening to the show, but who cares about that? Laughing with tears in my eyes emoji times 2. Joking, by the way. Happy 100th episode, you two. Nervous smiling with teeth, but thumbs up emoji.
Mm-hmm. That's hilarious.
Oh, God.
You know what's funny? He has great insights, doesn't he?
He does, actually. Yeah.
He really does. I went back in history, in time. Okay? I heard the first episode before I commented on the show. My first comment, okay, was on October 31st, 2019.
Holy moly.
Before I knew this was a PG pod, I'm going to read my comment, but I'm not going to say what I said.
Okay.
It's the Halloween 5 scary game. I said, I would definitely say PT, as it's now infamous. The Silent Hill franchise, even though it's over. Resident Evil seemed like it crawled out of the grave recently and has been on fire. The Outlast franchise is one of the newer and better horror franchises out there. Also, at 5 years old, I blank my pants playing Friday the 13th on NES. Then you wrote, this is brilliant. May we use this? Of course, bro. Glad you enjoyed. And I felt like a damn superstar right there.
Oh, no.
That was it.
And then I didn't read it out.
I think the F bomb. But also, there was loads of comments. There was loads of comments on this post. Listen, sometimes you get featured, sometimes you don't. After that comment, I was every episode. Then I became part of the immortal, unglorious.
Wow.
Listen,
Indeed.
history, bro.
Someone listening at home right now is the next new co-host of this show.
100% go back. It can happen, bro.
It can happen. Guess what?
Back to back.
Boboloba doesn't just do the finest gaming comments. Boboloba does the finest gaming comments money can buy. It's a tough choice. I've been thinking about it for a while now, and I'm down to choosing between the enigmatic boys. What a laugh that was. I know he's being genuine, but it doesn't sound very genuine. Imagine the whole time people have been writing in just being like completely mean and I'd never even noticed. Between the between the enigmatic boys. What a laugh that was.
Not even a comma. Just end.
and the and the Gotham Games episodes. Insightful and covered something close to home. But then also every retrospective deep dive into a console's history and the Farmington Christmas Market event. Bloomin' love you. I think Bo Blober's voice has evolved quite a lot over the last sort of 4 weeks.
This gets smarter every time.
What a laugh that was. Farmerton plane crash seems to have hit a bit of a nerve. Do you remember the Farmerton plane crash, Bobby?
That was probably before me. See, I was very confused with the whole farm. I'm trying to, what's going on? Where do these guys live? Right? What is going on? Who are all these people? And I'm trying to listen, and I went back to listen, and I'm like, oh, where is this in London? Where is this in England? Where even are they on the map? Right? And listen, sometimes you got little towns that are not even on a map. And I'm like, I thought that's where you guys were.
Oh, well, that's where we were, of course.
It was definitely not, it was not big enough to be on a map. It was just a town that you had to know by living there.
Who would have thought Two Boys Done Good made it all the way out to New York?
Mm-hmm. I'm like, who's Mumsy? What is that? What's going on there? Right? I was like, who's Stingray? Who's this guy? Then I saw the pictures of Stingray, and I'm like, well, this is a wild. This is a wild dude, but also this picture is false advertising. That is not Stingray.
No, that is not. Who is that?
I don't know. Then you got people here, I guess they have moved on. Like, you know, who is Sensei Ray? Sensei Ray, who's that? He's gone.
Sensei Rios.
Yeah, he's gone.
Sensei Rios was around. He was a listener, wasn't he? He was Intangible Variant, I think he was called. And I know he keeps changing his name, but that's what he used to be.
I'll tell you something else. It took me a year and a half to figure out Doogie McBain. You guys say Doogie. I say Dougie. I was lost forever.
Within about 10 minutes of talking to him, he told me, don't say Dougie. Make sure you pronounce my name Doogie.
I thought that's how you guys called him over there. Doogie. So there he was, Doogie. And I'm like, well, who's this other guy? Oh, you're the same person. Wow.
The show
blew my mind.
The show has grown. What's the next name out of the bag you got for us? Who is it?
Mr. Mystery. He says, Farmerton plane crash. Throw your hands up, pray to God emoji. And generally, all the cast from the Farmerton era. I love stupid finesse. I don't even know what that says.
Python-esque.
That's amazing.
Python.
That's, yeah. Oh, copy. See? Lost. Stuff up made on the spot. tuned in for the games, got us a real spin-off of the and relayed the magic about laughing till I cry emoji, and now the magic 100%. Keep it up, guys. Forever listening. Sexy wink emoji.
From Mr. Mystery.
Mm-hmm.
That's damn sexy.
That was.
Emmerdale is a TV soap opera about a farming community.
Yeah, see what I did there? I read that wrong, and I won really fast.
And you just rolled it all into the word marmalade.
Mm-hmm.
I like how
Thank
you.
you.
I like what you did there.
Also, marmalade. That episode really confused me. I had to actually text you. That was like one of the first times I think I directly messaged you.
Oh, Marmite.
Yeah. What is that? What is that? Now I know. You see, I learned a lot, bro.
Oh, I tell you what. Here's a guy who you couldn't pronounce, Eslo and Midness, who he changed his name to Tingle Tuna. He also references the Farmerton plane crash. He says the Farmerton plane crash was terrific. The charity streaming of Minecraft and the death of Wayne the dog had me in tears of laughter. R.I.P. Wayne. I have to say I listen in for the features, but the thing I like the most is how you uphold the law of the show. Poor Tom was sent to Rikers Island prison but found love. Even Dave Perry was wishing Tom well for the rest of his sentence, with Big Rick laughing with 2 tears coming out of his eyes emoji. Yeah, that was. He loved it. Dave loved it.
Yeah.
The fact he was recording with a felon made him very happy.
It's amazing. Up next.
What do you... The Minecraft days.
Those are great. For Wayne!
For Wayne!
That was... Listen. We just needed a few more people to do the For Wayne, and that would have been just as good as... Oh, no. I have a brain fart now. What's that infamous... I think it's World of Warcraft or something, where it had all these people lined up and they were going to attack this boss.
Right.
And the guy wrote, Leroy Jenkins. And they got murdered with the first kill. It was getting there, bro. For Wayne.
For Wayne.
Everything I did at that certain time in my life, everything I did for Wayne.
Oh,
until Eva had to tell me to stop saying that. I would go to the supermarket, find something I liked. For Wayne!
I don't think I've ever realised maybe the effect that this show and some of the spin-off bits and bobs that we've done have actually the effect that it's had on people, seemingly. Reading some of these comments is very nice.
Well, thank God we don't have any crazy fans, you know? They're all good people.
Yeah, we've been quite lucky in that regard. Been very lucky in that regard.
Up next.
Oh, is it my turn or is it your turn?
No, it's mine. You just read something.
Did I? What did I just read out?
You read Tingle Turner.
Of course I did.
Yeah, and you skipped 3 people. So we'll go back.
That was to keep it all lined up in the hope that El Buccio does sign off a check for a clip show.
Copy.
It's all grouped.
Okay, I like that. So do I not do that?
No, you read the gaming.gram. Okay. Gaming.
He wrote, the Mike Rouse episode was my favorite with a U. So now I know he's from England. It was also the first episode I listened to. It's crazy how much I learned in those 3 hours. After that, I went through the backlog and have been working my way through the episodes. I love the history of the PlayStation 2 episode a lot, as well as the GameCube one. With that being said, every episode I listened to has been thoroughly entertaining. Congrats on 100 episodes, guys. The work you do is awesome. And I'm sure not alone in saying this. The podcast has brought a lot of joy to me, even when things haven't been great. Here's to the next 100 episodes. P.S. I'd love to see you guys do a history of pro wrestling or just WWE games episode in the future. Totally not planting the seeds for something here. Keep up the good work. You're doing an awesome job. With the red heart emoji.
We've had so many requests.
I also forgot the cheers beer emoji. I missed that. I'm sorry.
Clinking Stein emoji.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah, well, he's only been with us a short while, but he's fallen deeply in love with the show.
He's knee deep in it.
He is. And quite frankly, we needed him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So thank you, gaming.gram. Yeah, wrestling episode. You're not the first person to request that. Maybe we can squeeze one of those out. Might need to bust Tom out of prison, probably for that. Because I don't know if Bobby can sit here and talk about Here Comes the Pain.
Oh, let me explain something to you.
For 10 hours.
I can. But unfortunately, as soon as you leave the Attitude Era, I'm out.
Okay. Well, that
That's
might
all.
work.
That's all I know.
Maybe we stop when the Attitude stops.
As a matter of fact, if we do a wrestling episode, I will dress. We will do a. We should do a YouTube one. I will dress up as Macho Man.
I'll be Stone Cold.
It's going down.
Okay. So Harvey Retro's messaged in. He said, "For me,
Immortal,
the immortal Harvey Retro." I think they're here. By the way, they just apparated into the cellar.
Well, they've been here.
Yeah,
they've been here. They're having a great time in the back.
Yeah, they found a couple of innocents to suck dry.
I kind of did that on purpose. There's a few neighbors. I'm like, oh, come over here. Just hang out over here. I bought them drinks. Stay here. I kind of like put to the darkest part of the bar. Worked.
Harvey Retro's got like a metal straw that he just stabs in. And
it's working beautifully right now.
Treats humans like a carton of orange.
Mm-hmm.
He said, for me, my biggest highlight has got to be actually being on episode 88. To be a fan of the show, then appear on it was magic. He's done the perfecto hand emoji. But another wonderful one was episode 84 with Tom showing off his acting chops as Scrooge, and was definitely better than Ross Kemp's version of Scrooge.
I loved episode 88. I didn't even know what episode that was.
No.
I was a fan for the trash tapes. Right? And you listen, I love Harvey. Johan's like a little bit like exclusive.
Yeah.
So when he was talking, I listen, if you can record if we had visual, every time he spoke, I was like, this guy, I'm learning every word. It was beautiful. And we were so respectful. We didn't even over talk each other.
All three of those.
What an episode, bro. Beautiful.
Break nowhere near Berlin Cummins.
Beautiful,
also,
dude.
All three of them just turned in. They are the highest level of professionalism.
100%. And again, if you're not listening to the trash tapes, what are you doing?
I guess they've not got their heads welded on correctly. I tell you what, you enjoyed episode 88. I love that. But episode 84...
That was cool.
Mate, that bit...
I was nervous. Tom was looking at me like, if you do not say this line... I'm like, oh, damn, Tom. It's a lot of pressure.
Thing is, it came together so well.
It did.
That speech, the monologue that he gives at the end...
I loved it.
Beautiful.
It really was.
My son, Ginger's Games Room, my adopted son. My greatest memory was George adopting me and being invited into the UC gang. Love you all more than life. Heart emoji. That's if you're listening now and you're not on the Discord or getting involved on the socials, you're missing out on that.
Yeah.
Why do you keep doing that to yourself?
Yeah,
Bobby, do we charge people money?
No,
to follow.
No, we don't. No.
Surely we must charge them to comment on the show.
Nope.
What's wrong with us?
Just good people. Just good people.
Tell you who else is a good person.
Young adult man.
He is a great guy.
AKA Juan.GD30CE12. I feel like that's like a planet in the alien universe.
I'm still trying to work out what it is.
Yeah, I should have asked him. I never asked him. I'll ask him after this.
Yeah.
He says, honestly, when we reviewed the N64 console and its games, but one memorable moment I couldn't forget was Airwolf, the spin-off movie. 2 laugh until I cry emojis. My guys, The Chronicles of a Gamer, and How to Put a Controller Cop. podcast. Keep it up, fellas. You guys are really the highlight of my week as far as entertainment goes. He has a hand clapping emoji, a peace sign emoji, some kind of peach box, a cool guy with sunglasses, a little kid like a little hey with his hands like Showtime hands, and then another peach box emoji.
I wonder what those peach box emojis were.
I don't know what that is.
Let's not leave this question unanswered. Let's get.
You gotta do it now.
Yeah, we're doing it now.
Is it that Airwolf? That was amazing. You really went off there.
My Airwolf rant.
Absolutely amazing.
It was the the first peach box was the rocking out emoji.
Okay.
And the second peach box was gnarly.
I heard that they're trying to get away from the rock out emoji.
Why?
And I will have to explain that off air. This is a family show.
Okay. We've all been there.
Yes.
Retro Gamer Thomas up next. He says it's hard to choose. I think it'd probably be the first episode I heard after finding out about the podcast after being contacted by George. See, back in the day, I used to have to ram this show down people's throats. It's been such a life changer for me, being a collector and a gamer, but having only knowing people who are casual gamers and don't share the passion was hard. Now I'm part of a fantastic community of gamers that chat daily, and I've made so many new friends that show an active interest. Sorry, went off topic a bit. No, you didn't. Right, if I have to pick a memorial bit, I think it was the backlog of shame. So, what? What am I reading here? He says, I think it was a backlog of shame episode where Tom walked off. Not that I find it funny, but I appreciate you guys for leaving it in and not editing it out like most podcasts do. It's because we didn't know how. Very honest of you guys. Well done for 100 episodes. 2 years of awesome content.
Listen.
You really are the UK's #1 gaming podcast. Clap, 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 clap. Is he clapping us? Let's clap ourselves.
Oh, he's clapping us. Wow. Thank you. I also
How long is too long?
It's never too long.
How long is too long to clap for yourself?
Never, bro. You clap yourself all day. You wake up when you clap. You wake up, you clap to yourself, bro. You did it. That episode, see, I was texting you guys back and forth. I didn't know who was in control of the IG. So when I wrote, hey, is Tom okay? I didn't know. It was you. Could have been Tom. I don't know. I said, listen, that was a great skit. You were like, oh no. That was real. I was like, really? Yeah, he was mad. I was like, yeah, he really was. I thought that was an act.
No, God. Some of the best acting he's ever done.
That was crazy.
That was it was a fun episode, wasn't it?
It was, listen, at the time, no. But looking back on it now, yeah.
I think looking back on it now, what people think's
that makes
a skit probably comes across as a skit.
That's why this is real. This is a real deal. This is no joke.
It is no. The unofficial controller. That's official. That is. It's no joke. It's not even funny. Who's next out the post bag?
Instagamer.
Oh, what's he got to say for himself?
He says, I know that technically this isn't a podcast memory, but it does involve the UC community. This is amazing. I'll never forget the Minecraft streams. In particular, Manhattan Project. It was one of the most exciting moments I've experienced in gaming, and it was great to share that with the UC community in real time as it went on this journey together. Meeting up every night with our trade tees, building a story, and that final payoff still gives me a buzz to this day. That was amazing. We found the pinpoint map, and that was just awesome to watch that. Everybody in the chat was just back and forth, where to find this, where to go here. How awesome was that, dude?
It was, to be honest with you, it was amazing, and sitting on top of all the information as it flowed in and trying to play the game as well was like, it felt really special. Still the most, I know we don't do a lot with the YouTube and we're an audio show and everything like that, and that's great, but we that YouTube Minecraft series is the most popular thing on YouTube. Not 100%. On YouTube full stop, but on our channel. Never did anywhere near as well as the audio stuff, and to be honest, we're probably spreading ourselves a bit thin. Do you think the community, will let them tell us, but you give me your gut feeling. As part of the 2-year 100 episode celebration, how do you think people would feel about a one-off 6 or 12 hour Minecraft starting from the beginning live stream would go down?
It would work.
Is that what they want to see?
It was popular. Minecraft is good. I think, you know what I wish?
What do you wish?
I wish some of the games you played, like the PSP, the PS2, could be recorded while you talk about that. See, those would be interesting.
That would be actually quite fascinating.
See, like the new games, yeah, no problem. We can play. That's fine. But those games you talk about, like, what's this guy playing today? Oh my God, what's this? People will just look and be like, wow, this is amazing.
What is this weirdo playing today? G1 Jockey. Yeah, he's doing it. 100%. Africa. Yeah, he's there.
He's in it to win it.
Okay, last person to message in. Well, not the last, but just the way it's been ordered by Nancy. It's Comic Picture 79. You know him as the show's artist. Yes, get in touch with him on Instagram if you want to see one of his wonderful prints in person. He says, I loved the unglorious mission behind enemy lines to Jeff Keighley's house. Force him to plug the show. Proper 80s A-Team stuff and that feeling of bringing those characters to life. What's that? Well, I kind of miss it too, but we've always felt that if you stay in one place too long, you get a little bit, or if you lean too hard into it, then, you know, you'd be asking us to leave Farmerton right now. We never wanted that to happen. It had to stay special, which it did. Yeah, the Unglorious, the missions, the call-outs, 100 episodes. I tell you what, in a way, it's flown by.
It's been fun too.
Well, I don't think you've got many shows to go as well before you are the longest running co-host of the Unofficial Controller podcast. At that point, you could hang up your microphone.
Really?
Yeah.
I've done that many?
You've done more than you realise.
Clearly.
To some people, you are the voice of the Unofficial Controller podcast.
Oh my God, can you imagine that?
Can you imagine that?
The guy who can't read?
I mean, it's fine. Don't worry about it. But you can play games. That's all that matters. I'm a little nervous because Tom's apartment is packed, okay? And it's beautiful, and El Buccio's here, and the wine's flowing, and everyone's having a great time. I don't think everyone knows that they're here to celebrate a podcast, but when you go down the streets of New York saying free booze, free party, it's amazing who you can get to turn up. That's why it sounds so pumping in here. Some of these people I've never met. I think if Dave the taxi driver thought that he was here to celebrate our 2-year anniversary, he wouldn't have come.
No.
Same for Red Diesel.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll be completely honest with you. Same for El Buccio.
Very true.
But I don't want any of these people to get hurt as he arrives, because can you hear that noise? Getting louder now.
Sure is.
It's time for a peek in what we affectionately call Stingrays Boot What's Nested between some counterfeit nappies and a dodgy copy of Battlefriend all this week. These are the new release highlights for the week 5th of April to April 11th, 2021. Listeners, these are out on digital or physical, or will be by the time this podcast in your feed, but could be region dependent. Boots popped. He's out. He's got a Lambert. No one died. The car just kind of appeared and people moved around it. You know that grand piano that's normally here? Now there's a Nissan Bluebird there in its plate.
Just like that.
What? I heard this week he's been out making contraband Unofficial Controller podcast merchandise.
Yes. He took out all the valves.
Okay.
But you know what? You can still read it.
It works fine for me. I never knew. I'm wearing one of his T-shirts now.
And he did more pink than yellow, but it's cool. You know, sometimes you need an alternate jersey. Why not?
This is how I'm seeing it. Have you got a mummy picked out?
Yeah.
I have as well. Mine's the third one. Which one's yours?
Second one.
Oh, that's worked well, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's worked well. So I'll go first. Lost Words Beyond the Page. PC, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, April 6th. An atmospheric narrative adventure written by Rihanna Pratchett. Set between the pages of a diary and a fantastic story where you run on words and use them to interact with the world around you. Sounds cool.
Mm-hmm. Next for me, Oddworld Soulstorm for PC, PS5, PS4, April 6th. Oddworld Soulstorm is an explosive action-adventure game complete with crafting, scavenging, platforming, and sneaking. It's the story of an impossible fight against the opposing force that will use every means at their well-funded disposal, from propaganda to brutal force to deadly violence to stop Abe and the uprising. I never played an Oddworld game, so I'm gonna try this one. Believe that.
Okay, it's an interesting jumping on point, but fair play to you. Up next is my mummy. It's the Star Wars Republic Commando. I had this on original Xbox and thought it was a great game. It's on PS4 and Switch. It's at April 6th. You are the leader of an elite squad of Republic Commandos. That's how they speak. You know the clones. You're the leader of an elite squad of Republic Commandos. Your mission is to infiltrate, dominate, and ultimately annihilate the enemy. Your squad will follow your orders and your lead, working together as a team, instinctively, intelligently, instantly. You are their leader. They are your weapon.
Like it. Up next, we got War Theater 2. Didn't know there was a War Theater 1. Beyond Winter, Max Edition for PS5, April 6th. From the developers of War Theater comes the next series installment of Blood Winter. In this free-to-start turn-based RPG, return to Kasili, where the endless war continues to rage and power new forces converge to determine the fate of the world.
Sounds like people in Kasili have got something to worry about.
They sure do.
Quinterra PC, April 7th. Embark on a tale of conquest across 5 domains in Quinterra. Build and customize your army in this roguelite.
There you go. Then there it is.
We got a roguelite, Stingray! Turn-based tactics game. Nice. What's next?
Before Your Eyes. This sounds, a little sensual, but it's not when I read it. PC, April 8th. Embark on the emotional first-person narrative where you control the story and it affects its outcomes. With your real-life blinks, this innovative technique, you will willfully immerse yourself in a world of memories, both joyous and heartbreaking, as your whole life flashes before your eyes. Whenever I hear like heartbreaking or sad journey, I'm out.
The idea of controlling the game with your real life
That's dope, though.
blinks and the game flashes before your eyes.
I like that.
Should have made that a mummy. Up next, In My Shadow. It's on the PC, April 8th. Play with shadows in your own imaginative ways to solve twisted puzzles as you unfold the memories of a girl who struggles to control herself in her past.
Up next, we got Scarlet Hood and the Wicked Wood, April 8th. Scarlet Hood must lead a hapless Munchkin troop through the Wicked Wood. Too bad the Black Witch, LaFaba, doesn't take too kindly to strangers gallivanting in her domain. Our fledgling witch soon realizes she's reliving the same day. Can she overcome the disaster that awaits every turn?
What the Dub? PC, PS4, Xbox One and Switch, April 8th. What the Dub is an hilarious multiplayer party game where each player overdubs missing dialogue from awful B-movies, outdated PSAs, and bizarre industrial films with their own witty or just plain stupid dubs. That sounds like it could be quite fun.
I've seen a stream for this.
Was
and
it fun?
Listen, they were having a good time on it.
Oh. Did you have a good time watching them play it?
I laughed. I really thought it was funny.
Oh, good. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, that's got legs. What's next?
Say no more. Oh, I'm sorry. Say no more.
Oh,
PC and Switch, April 9th. Say no more is the world's finest NPG. No playing game. Play as an intern with a burning desire to say no to everything and everyone. Customize your character. Say no in different styles and languages. Clap back at mean colleagues and change the world. This is something I say every day. So
that's an interesting sounding game.
yeah.
Last one out the boot before we pick our VHSs.
Here we go.
Oh no. Why is it always me? Trials of Fire PC April 9th. A tactical deck building. Stingray, we've got ourselves a roguelite. Choose 3 heroes and adventure into post-cataclysmic wasteland. Engage enemies in a unique meld of card play, tactical, positional combat. Level up and scavenge what you can to customize your decks. Build a party to take on any challenge. 2 roguelites. Got away quite lightly this week.
Did.
Now, your VHS. Buddy, pal, man, what you going to pick?
Oh dear. Go first.
Tom sent me a DVD from jail. It's Mick Foley's greatest hits and misses. It's a DVD with a collection of Mick Foley's, in his opinion, best matches. It's WWA.
Interesting.
So that's my choice.
Oh no.
It's a little sun faded as well, because, you know, the rays.
I'm gonna pick Transformers the movie.
What, with Shia LaBeouf or?
No. The cartoon from the 80s.
Yeah, I was just checking.
Yeah. No. I mean, listen.
Are you going to get King Icon GP79 over to play that?
Oh, you nailed it, bro.
That's what you're going to do? You're going to bring him round?
Bring him right over here and watch it.
Brilliant. Before I ask you what your... I'm not going to say it because it kind of starts the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to take a moment to thank you for coming on the show, giving it a chance to continue happening, and your efforts. People don't probably realise that show's not just a quick... I don't believe this or not, it's not just a quick throw together thing. It actually demands quite a lot of your time, which you quite freely give, which has been very generous of you. Also, people out there, there's people listening now that have heard every single minute of every single show that we've ever put out, every single second of every YouTube stream that we did. There's people that have spent more time listening to this show's content than they have to the whole collected works of J.R.R. Tolkien.
Facts.
Unbelievable and bizarrely and insanely humbling. So if you've managed to get this far into the show, thank you for listening. We appreciate you. Thank you as well to everyone who's made Bobby feel part of the team. He's a legend, and he's made me feel very comfortable here in New York. He's helped me acclimatise and feel part of the very fabric of this living, breathing metropolis. If you're not careful, you might go out and find yourself in the wrong part of town. Doesn't happen to me because Bobby's here, shadowing me. So it's great. So really very humbling to everybody, Bobby, and then more importantly, that the people that listen. You're not a podcast unless you've got listeners. And
true.
We're very lucky to have those, and we've got an active community. I wish we could convert all the listeners over. We could flip them all over to the Discord. That would be incredible. And I'm sure we will one day. I don't know what they're... Some people are obviously on the edge going, well, do I get Discord or do I don't get Discord? I'm not sure.
Do it.
Get it, okay? But yeah, 100 episodes, 2 years. Never thought we'd get here.
That means another 100 episode would be 2023.
Would it?
Yeah.
See you then. Well,
I'm in it to win it, bro.
You'll be here. It'll be you and Joe Rogan or someone, won't it? El Buccio will splash the cash.
We don't really need Joe Rogan. I would love to do like James Rolfe. You know, bring him on. You know who James Rolfe is?
I don't know why that name rings a bell.
Angry video game nerd.
Of course.
You know who else I like to bring on?
Who?
He's not a gamer. Probably would never happen, but you never know. Theo Von.
Ask him.
I will.
Ask him.
100%.
Okay.
And then I would love to get, I don't know, man, just like a famous girl gamer and just pick her brain about what women actually think about the things that we don't care about. You know what I mean?
What things don't we care about?
You know, whatever.
Okay.
Like, you know, listen, it's, you know, what are you playing? What do you feel about this? You know, because sometimes I'm like, okay, whatever. I see it. She might see it totally different. Get a real women's perspective on the gaming industry.
Perfect. Yes, we need to
That'd
do
be
that.
that'd be
Write
dope.
that down. Write down those guests you just came up with as well.
Yeah, man.
Let's make that happen. Theo Von. He might play video games.
I think he does.
Then we need him on the show.
We got to do it. You know what else we could love?
Think how big his podcast would get if he came on here.
I would also like to get our very own RGT.
You want
This man's collection? That's an episode.
That is ridiculous.
I would love an episode where I sit in his gaming rig, his racing rig, and we do the episode from that rig.
You have to stay in the rig. Yes.
We could listen. He can do like bro. He could break it down, A to like, you know, E, and then like F to I. Who the hell knows? He was in a magazine.
He was.
He sent me the mag. I have the magazine here.
Wonder how many copies of that he bought.
All of them. I have one. How amazing is that?
A selling copy of Retro Gamer magazine ever. Is it?
You know?
Yeah. What are you letting up? 4,526 million copies of Retro Gamer magazine?
Mm-hmm. And listen, pretty soon we can ask, you know, Big Phil, maybe Jim Ryan, at the same time.
Oh my God. We're at 2023, episode 300.
Can you imagine that?
We've got Jim Ryan on, and we've got Big Phil. Okay. That's what we're building towards.
Let's make it happen.
You
got to set goals, bro.
Before we got distracted, before we lost our way in this insane party that's completely off the chain, I've just seen an ice carving of El Buccio in his teenage years with wine pouring out of his mouth, splashing off some ice rocks into an ice carving of you as a cherub being held by an ice carving of Polina. Never leave me in charge of the Unofficial Controller podcast credit card, okay? Because I'm going to do something like that. The only problem with it is it's going to melt. So
yeah,
I've also bought and converted, you know, Tom's old bedroom.
Yes.
I've had that converted into a walk-in freezer. So
beautiful.
On completion of the party, we will move Ice Cherub U in there and lock it down.
I like it.
Yeah. And it's minus 25 in there, so I'm hoping that's cold enough to stop ice from melting.
100%.
Okay. I might have gone overkill, but I don't.
Yeah,
really
you
care.
did, but that's fine. You better say this hard.
You wait till you see what I've carved in your bedroom.
Ooh.
It's not what you think it is.
Oh, I'm
And
excited either way.
And it's not that either.
Okay.
It's an ice carving of me.
Yeah.
Life size, exactly recreated.
We'll find out.
I popped it in your bedroom before the party started, but I did feel as I left it was a little cold, so I nudged the heating up. So you might just find it looks like someone's poured a bucket of water across your marital bed. I never realised how cold ice was. And then,
Oh, yeah.
I probably should have thought before turning up the heating. But it's one of those things. Those that paid attention at the top of the show, they know that the show can't start until I ask you what you've been playing. But they equally know that the yin to that yang is I can't ask you. No, what am I doing? Okay, the punch has kicked in. I actually think it had edibles in it. I'm not even sure. Okay. Something. Ozcat grip tight on that unfolding party noise thingy that you've got. What did we say they were called at the beginning?
I don't even remember. The roll-up thingy?
The roll-up whistle. Yeah. The roll-up. Blow hard on your roll-up whistle.
Mm-hmm.
Odders. As I ask Bobby, what are you hoping to play?
So I'm gonna. So there's a PSN sale, and I bought the season 2 DLC for Zombie Army 4. So I'm gonna finish that. The game is free, by the way. So if you don't have it, you should get it. It's free.
I'll have it.
And then Sniper 4. I'll finish that. But I also put in The Last of Us 2. It's ready to be played. Yeah, it's time. Yep.
I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Going down. That's for me. What about you?
It can be. I'll tell you one thing about it. Not that you're bothered by this because you're a bigger boy, but sometimes it's that. I did find this with one a little bit. It's that dark that you're like, playing it can be not a chore because it's not nice to play. It's just a chore because of how sort of visceral it can be at times. You're like, oh, I don't know if I could kill another person, but I thought it was great. Yeah, it really did. For me, what am I going to play? I'm threatening today to put my VR headset on and play through Moss. That little VR platform where you control a mouse.
Yeah,
I think that's what I want to do.
That'd be cool. I gotta say, apparently, I'm assuming Microsoft and Amazon have like a partnership because I bought it's an Xbox controller, but it's an Amazon basic Xbox controller with a plug. It was like $15, and I used that to play my Raspberry Pi, and it's amazing. Yeah, I'm dead serious. It's really good controller, I have to say.
Oh yeah, the controller's good. I just didn't know why you bought this Amazon Basics one.
It was $20. It's a plug. I had to plug it into my Raspberry Pi.
And you use that for your emulators and everything?
Yeah, I've had the other one. It was very good too. I don't remember the company though, but I got the Super Nintendo one, two of them. And I got the 6-button Genesis one. They were great. But someone's like, no, you should experience with the Xbox controller. So I went online to Amazon to see what they had. I was going to go to eBay and buy a used one. And I saw a brand new controller with a plug for like $20. I got here the next day. I was like, well, I'll try. It feels awesome. My girlfriend's like, oh, Eva's like, oh, I thought you don't play, are you playing an Xbox? No. Playing Retro Pi. Xbox controller. She was very confused.
Is this all part of the stealth initiative to get an Xbox in the house under Eva's nose?
It's already here.
Oh.
Yeah, what I did was I took out the PS4. That's in the closet now.
Yeah, you don't need that.
And I put the Series... No, not Series X. What's the other one?
1X?
Yeah. In the slot. I also laid down my PlayStation 5. It's flat now.
Yes.
So what I did was I bought the felt, those little felt things you put under furniture? So I have a TV riser from IKEA. That's my TV's on top of. So under those legs, I put the felt tips. And it raised it enough for the PS5 can slide right underneath that bad boy.
Oh, beautiful.
and it looks much better. Eva's very happy. I think, though, I'm going to buy the black siding to hide it even more. Because literally everything is like a dark wood, and then, bam, white PS5.
Yeah.
So the more incognito I can be, the better it is for me.
I think you should just hang fire because I think there'll be some official sides coming out soon.
I think so.
I've seen a couple of videos about the non-genuine sides, and like one set of them that was super cheap was just like, no. There was another site that we talked about, the company in the news who set up, Sony threatened them, they popped up with a different name, fulfilled an order of about 5,000 sides and then shut down. And then there's another company, I can't remember the name, that does the console skins, the wraps.
Yeah, they're not good.
And they came out early doors and said, we've seen how some of you fit our wraps, so we aren't going to be doing wraps for the PlayStation 5, but we are going to produce new side plates, which they did. And they look to me to be the best ones. So if you know the console skin company I'm talking about, go there and get their side plates because...
Okay, I'll do that then.
Yeah, I've heard them review quite well. I think the really cheap ones had like loads of weird like molding lines on them, and the other company had molding lines as well, whereas this skins company...
Because I was thinking about going to the Arc Auto, the auto detail shop, like 10 blocks away.
Yeah.
Having that guy just spray paint black, matte finish.
These ones that I saw were made out of black plastic. The only problem with spraying a console, and I know a lot of them last for years and they look great, but the paint chips and wears off and then it looks terrible.
Yeah, that's true too. I'll just wait. It was just an idea.
I don't mean to ruin your ideas.
No.
We've both had a skinful. We're going to come up with this sort of stuff. Okay. El Buccio's, he's going to want to talk to us, by the way, tonight about the future of the show. Yeah.
We talk to a skin company to put the logo on things like that.
What, other than a Piles pillow?
Yeah.
What, other than a water bottle and a face mask?
Imagine the top side pink, bottom side yellow. Bam, logo.
Okay.
Imagine a Series X tower with the logo. Bam. All up in your grill.
Yeah. Write that down. Tell El Buccio we need some more money.
I'm going to wrap my mic in pink and yellow tonight.
Okay. Do you think that's all we've got time for?
You didn't... Oh, you did. Yeah, okay. I guess that's it.
Okay. Well,
yeah. I had a good time.
I did too. 100 episodes. We need to get everyone out now because I just want to put my feet up and have a cup of tea.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do a bubble tea.
Why do you always have to go one level better than me? All right, I want a bubble tea now.
Yeah, we'll get one together, man. 25% sugar, though. We don't need all that sugar.
Well, that's why we're going to walk there and walk back.
100%.
You've just put a load of fermenting alcohol in your belly. That's sugar.
Yeah, but that's okay. I'm trying, if I don't have to put it in, you know what I'm saying? Then don't put it in.
Okay. I'm of the mindset that if you've got it, put it in.
Well, that works too.
Okay. Well, that's all we have time for this week, listeners. As always, thank you for your time. I look forward to the pleasure of speaking to you again next week. Until then, happy gaming. Remember, there's nothing wrong with being given the unofficial controller. It's what you do with it that counts. See you, Bobby.
Peace out.
Hi, it's George here from the Unofficial Controller podcast. Just taking a moment to, first of all, thank you for listening. It means a hell of a lot to us. Secondly, every week we bring you free content, the latest news, the new releases, a feature of note, normally something to do with games or gaming past, be it one of our history of documentaries or an insight into the industry itself or how games have affected us as people. Well, yes, we incorporate you, listeners, into that. All we ask is that you drop a little comment on our post on social media and you can get featured on the show. Hey, do you know what? You may even win a prize. The only charge for this is £0, 0 pence, $0. That's right, no money. All we ask is that you like, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you found this show. And if you're feeling a little bit cheeky, tell a friend, get them to do the same. We have a Discord that's free for you guys to all join in and get involved in. And the community on Instagram and Twitter is alive and thriving. So don't be a lonely gamer. Make yourself known. Thank you. And now it's time to begin this week's entertainment. Take care, guys.